Morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device worldwide at David G. Evans 1. David G. Evans, the number 1. Won't you please share right now with your followers and your friends and invite them to join you and join us today as we talk about those things which are relevant to you politically, athletically, socially, culturally, and of course, the kingdom of God, but all our discussions from a Word of God basis. So I want to invite you to get your friends on board with us this morning as we talk about some of the hottest topics in the nation and around the world, but also those things that are of interest to you. But always remember, we're talking to you from a biblical perspective. You can give us a call toll-free from anywhere around the world at 866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. If you're good at letters, 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. We love talking to you this morning. We have callers from around the nation. Oftentimes our international callers give us a call, but also you can follow us and this discussion, this conversation on our Facebook platform at David G. Evans 1. We look forward to having this conversation. Even if you are not able to stay with us the whole time this next hour, you can always pull us up on YouTube and on, I believe on Facebook too, right?
Yes, sir.
YouTube and Facebook at David G. Evans, the number 1. We are so glad you joined us today. Of course, joining me as always is our world famous co-host, Reverend Pastor Nick. Reverend Pastor Nick. Nick. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Had a good time last night.
Yeah, I thought it worked out really well. The food trucks had a great time.
Yeah.
I thought Pastor Bush and the praise team did a great job last night. All the support systems went well. Got a little chilly out there, but
Yeah.
The kids had fun.
Yep.
And we were glad to have the opportunity to fellowship with everybody last night. It was just good. I went to get my fish late, and he was all out.
He was all out.
Man,
They tore that fish up early.
man, I heard the fish was good. I said, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to wait till it's time to leave and take it with me.
Nah. I went to get some pulled pork, and they was like, sorry, man. I should have got it early like that. But
Disappointed brother, man. I'm trying to tell you something. But so the Phillies looked like they were out of it last night,
yeah.
and they came back to win game 1.
Yeah, game 1. And everybody was Houston's a good team.
Okay. And they've been in it a couple times in the last
Yeah.
years.
Yes. The last time they got caught in that cheating scandal when they won.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, they had a little edge that year.
Yeah.
But they had to come back and prove that they were good. I don't even think they needed to cheat when
They didn't.
when they got caught.
It was like the Patriots. You didn't need to. You know.
Speaking of the Patriots, they're doing better than the Buccaneers.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
They got blown out on Monday though.
Did they?
Yeah, they got blown out on Monday.
What was the score?
They lost to Chicago.
I heard the Bears really played them well.
Yeah, they did. It was close for a minute. That the Bears just took them. The Patriots quarterbacks didn't play well at all.
So what's going on with Brady? I saw him throw a couple passes. He wasn't even. I was watching the TV and I almost caught him. That's how far off they were.
Well, the problem, a lot of his receivers are injured.
Okay.
So the timing isn't there with the new guys. So a couple guys they just brought on the team.
Okay.
Within that week. So timing is everything.
Yeah.
In that one, but at the same time.
Yeah. Now.
I don't know if his personal stuff at home is affecting his
ability to play. Okay.
But they just announced they got a divorce yesterday.
Did they?
Yeah. So
no.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's
So it must have been in the works.
We'll see. She wanted him to stay retired.
Okay.
He wanted to go back and play.
Okay.
He went back to play.
Okay.
And Sis gave him an ultimatum, and he was like, "I'm playing." And they tried to work it out, and it just didn't work out. And
yeah, but I didn't even know they were in the proceeds.
Yeah, this started. Speculation started coming out in August, I think, and then it just started kind of spiraling. He took some time off to be with his family, and people can speculate all they want to about what he should or shouldn't have done.
Yeah, but that's his life.
Thank you. We're not in his marriage. We don't know what their life is at home.
That's his life. That's his life.
Because people are like, don't give up the game. Your family, look, we don't know what's going on at home. Just mind your business and let them be them.
I mean, everybody retires or stops working at some point.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure people get to decide that for you.
Right.
You know, and I think he probably felt like he had some more productive years.
Mm-hmm.
How much time does the season take up?
I think practice starts around like June, July, and the end in February. That's if you go through the playoffs.
Yeah. So you figure it goes from June to February.
Yeah.
That is, and it's demanding, and he's got a lot of concessions also.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't have to show up for this, didn't have to show up for that. He's taking off for this, taking off for that.
Yeah. And part of me gets hurt too. It's a physical game. He's 40-something years old.
Yeah.
She's looking at, bruh, your kids need you to be able to walk when you're 60 and not take all these.
Is that an issue for Brady? Because they call a foul if he gets brushed. Somebody breathes on him too hard. I mean,
he took a couple of good hits on Monday night.
Well, he ought to, man. He's playing football,
right? And you know, again, my thing is everybody's speculating. We are not in their marriage.
No.
Who knows if he didn't want to go home?
Well, and that's the flip side of it.
Yeah.
It maybe he needed to get away from her, and he needed to be on the road working so they could stay together.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she got more money than he does.
Does she?
Oh, she's loaded. She makes way more money than him.
Still?
Well, I think from her whole modeling career and all that stuff.
She made some big bucks while she was out there.
She made some money. He married up.
Did he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So anyway, Phillies are doing well. Eagles are doing well.
Yes.
How the Flyers doing?
I don't know. I don't really watch hockey. Are they playing?
I think I heard they're doing well too.
Let me see. Well, they are playing now. I gotta check their record.
Yeah, the hockey's on. I don't watch them at all, but
I didn't even know they were playing.
But the Sixers are what?
The Sixers are actually losing right now. I think they're like 0-4, 0-5, I think. Yeah, Flyers are 5-2.
Okay.
The Sixers aren't playing good at all.
So we have one team that's not doing well.
Yeah. But I'll tell you this: if the Phillies win the series, and the Eagles go to the Super Bowl,
Phillies gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be nuts.
But I tell you where the best seat's gonna be.
Oh.
In your living room.
Now, I ain't gonna lie. I went to the parade when they won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I got out there at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Wow.
It was cold.
Wow.
Oh, it was cold. Stood out there till.
Was it colder than when we went to the Super Bowl?
Not as much because we were sitting versus there. You're on your feet. You're standing up for hours.
Yeah.
Next time I know the strategy now. I'm like, okay, I would have to do that early. But it was just cool being out there with everybody. And
they were out there at 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah. Place was packing out like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning just to be up in the front of the art museum.
I'd have watched them on TV, man.
My brother was out there. A couple other people from the church was out there.
Okay.
We were talking, just drinking coffee, and just didn't know they were going to be there. Just happened to meet up.
My aunt used to force me to go to the Mummers Parade every year because I used to spend the weekend with them that weekend. And I swore as soon as I got old enough to say no, I was not standing out in the wintertime in the cold watching nobody's parade. Especially, I'm like, Aunt Ruby, can't we stay home and watch this?
Right.
Well, you got to go. We'll have some hot chocolate. That hot chocolate lasts about 5 minutes.
5 minutes,
And then she wasn't buying no more. And we was done.
Yeah. I think this is a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
It sure is.
Who knows if they're ever going to win the Super Bowl again?
Okay.
So let me try this one time.
Okay.
And,
but you were cold.
Oh, it was freezing. And I was standing up from 5 in the morning till about 3. So my legs was hurting by the time. Now, all the rest of them was fine because they was drunk. So they were loaded.
Yeah.
They, the sober ones was out there freezing.
So being drunk in the spirit didn't help you that day?
Not at all.
Oh, goodness gracious. What can you do?
Anyway, right.
So, well, I'm happy for the Phillies. I haven't been to a game in a long time. I remember last time I was over there, they were in the playoffs.
Yeah.
To some more serious things. Why is Clarence Thomas able to temporarily block a subpoena issued by a Georgia grand jury?
That's what I'm still trying to figure
But
out. About the
is he
process.
supposed to be that involved in local politics?
I don't think so.
What is that? So Lindsay calls him and says, "Can you do something for me?"
Yeah, right. Called his wife, and his wife probably put the call in because
They're supposed to be the Supreme Court.
I know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. How one federal judge can make a decision for everybody in the country.
What I don't understand is why he's involved in Georgia's business.
Yeah.
I thought you had to appeal up to the Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
They had to get together, make a decision. But this says that Thomas temporarily blocked it.
Yep. He did. Yep.
Why is he involved?
So I'm sure his wife was somewhere in this, and she's
Rather vocal.
yes, in this situation because she's a part of that group.
Yeah. So while our people are getting ready to call, 866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. This Nancy Pelosi thing is a little frightening if you're a public figure.
Yep. Yeah, they went looking for her. The guy was stuck in all those conspiracy theories about the left. And
Okay.
And this is where that whole us against them thing is going to lead to violence. It's no way around it.
You have some people that are not going to be rational.
Yeah.
So they say the guy broke the windows out of the back of the house and got in?
Yeah. And I think he had to go into surgery. I can't remember I read it.
He was in surgery yesterday for a long time, they said.
Yeah.
Because the guy attacked him now, from what I hear, it's possible that Pelosi went after him with the hammer and may have gotten disarmed.
Okay. From it, yeah. That's the but again, he's a senior citizen. He's 82 years old. And
you got to be a real good 82
to be able to
be battling like that, But they say both of them went to the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's up there screaming, "Where's Nancy? Where's Nancy?" I mean, this is where the whole I take people have a personal responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
However, our people in office and authority have to be mindful of their words because there are these people out here.
Yeah,
and you can't totally blame Trump or whoever for this guy's responsibility, but they do play a role in it.
I have another issue, and that issue is this. How does Nancy Pelosi, as the third most powerful person in the country, I think she is, have security, and her husband, her family, and her home doesn't? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So all you got to do is walk a block away and look down the block. Okay, no security at the house. Nancy's gone.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense to me.
None at all.
If she's the individual who if something happens to the top two, she's next.
Yep.
If she's that individual, then I think her husband is an important person.
I think so too. Yeah. Yeah. I totally agree.
Whether he went there looking for her or not, there should have been a detail on him.
Yep. Yeah.
Just because of who he's connected to.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And who they are. I mean, they both got crazy amounts of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first thing that came to my mind when they say he got attacked, my first thing was, where was the security?
Yeah.
And then I learned yesterday he didn't have any.
Yep. I think they only give that
That makes no sense.
to the president's family and the vice president's family.
And obviously the speaker's family.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He's supposed to have that.
Unbelievable. So here he is, 80-some years old, having to fight off a guy who broke in his house with a hammer.
Yeah.
Wow. I bet you he has some now.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure they do. Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Have we had so many school shootings that we are becoming non-reactive to the news?
Yeah. Well, especially from what I heard, this one was in the black area too. So,
Okay.
That works.
We got Tom from Florida calling, Fort Lauderdale, 866-743-8267. This is On Point, the number one Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Any smart device at David G. Evans 1. What do you have, Pastor Nick?
So I'm going to verify this, but somebody said that Clarence Thomas has oversight over the 11th Circuit based in Atlanta. So that's why he has
that's why he could do that?
Yeah.
That's part of his job. Let's go to Tom. Morning, Tom. How you doing?
Good morning. How you doing, Bishop? How you doing, Pastor Nick?
Doing good, man. What's happening down in old sunny Florida?
I didn't want to bring this up, but our governor, I saw this past week, doing the campaign, and all the ads were saying, one thing I hear and really disturbed me was him saying, you'll never have to worry about black, the history of black folks being taught. What are they calling it now?
Critical race?
Yeah.
How is
You never
teaching
have to worry
about
critical race?
well, let me put it this way. How is teaching about American history teaching critical race?
He
Well,
said,
the first thing is, Bishop, they don't teach it. And then he clarified by saying they'll be teaching the right things in school. I mean, what's right in school?
the way he languaged it was, we're not going to teach that young white kids are at fault for.
Who said they were?
Thank you. Nobody says that. It's that whole, you talk about it, you're making us feel guilty about something that we didn't. Nobody's blaming you for what somebody did 300 years ago.
So answer me this. Are they going to take Italian history, Irish American history, Polish American history, Japanese American history? Are they going to take all that out the history books too?
No.
So you can talk about the fact that Japanese people were imprisoned right here in the United States, but to
that's
talk about that,
required in some states now.
but to talk about that is not critical race.
No.
Only when you're talking about African Americans.
Yeah. And but he did also say that we need to we should stop teaching in schools that America stole land from Native Americans.
Why would they do that?
He's trying to still feed that lie that it was against this friendly negotiation.
So what is this now?
talked and
What
sold
is
and
so what is this now? The only parts of your history that you're allowed to remember or be reminded of are the positive parts.
are the positive parts? Yes.
But what bothers me is I think you have some African American men buying into this nonsense.
Yeah, some of them are. Yeah. Slavery was a long time ago. It's fine now.
It is not
And-
fine
yeah,
now.
Right. Yeah. Until they realize some of them still see you just as another black person.
Yeah.
I can see other people saying we don't want to be reminded, but we can't stop reminding ourselves.
Yeah. Like the Emmett Till movie that's out now.
Yeah.
You got some black people.
I can't
saying,
watch it.
Well, I know.
I can't watch it.
I get why you're saying that.
Yeah,
because it's
my
gonna stir
attitude,
you up.
my attitude will just go south.
But there are people saying we shouldn't watch it because while we always get these civil rights or slave movies, fool, they are trying to take away your history.
That's right.
And people are trying to keep it in the public eye.
That's right.
The truth about it.
That's right. They don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
Well,
And nobody's taking away the Holocaust.
no, they're not.
Yep.
And you know what? And I agree with that because it happened. It's not something that didn't happen. This is,
It's real history.
yes. And if you don't know your history, it tends to repeat itself.
So the next thing that your governor is going to do is we shouldn't mention Jesus or the cross because it might make us feel guilty.
Oh no, that's they'll never do that.
No, that'll be right
Okay.
up his alley.
Okay. Okay. So they're not going to do that. They're not going that far.
No, because he died for our sins, and we're that.
You don't mind being reminded that you have them?
Yeah, they.
Yeah, and the other thing he's done too is he's arresting people who voted last election because they were convicts who thought they were okay because when they passed a law in Florida by a majority vote saying, hey, if you weren't a murderer or a sex offender, you can vote. And these people thought they were okay, but they may have had signs or something that they didn't know about. And he's actually has a police force for voting. He has them out arresting people who voted thinking they did it legally.
Yep.
Are they that afraid that the vote is going to be so close that they have to start taking people off the street and denying them the right to vote after it's been given to them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think so.
Yep.
Now, I don't think I've asked you this lately, Tom. I know I've asked you before. Tell me again why you live in Florida.
The weather.
The weather doesn't seem to be good to me.
You know, it's two states. You get north, I think it's where more of the craziness come in. You get down in Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. It doesn't seem to be. It's a lot more Democratic down here. The mayors, down here are Democratic. The Congress.
But he's the governor of the whole state, isn't he, Tom?
Yeah, well, Bishop, I may come back north.
But you know what's crazy from what they're saying? Again, you
Yeah.
can't always believe polls.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
he actually might win one of the Democratic places in Florida. that
Republican
normally votes
places?
Democrat, that normally votes Democrat.
Really?
DeSantis might win it because of the
Miami,
Latino
where Cubans
population.
are.
The
I
Latino
almost guarantee
population
he's gonna
down
take
there
that.
are supportive of DeSantis.
Okay. Can somebody tell me why?
A lot of them, as we've been saying, they identify
As white? So to identify, if I identify, wait a minute. So now, if a black person identifies themselves as white, that's considered not being loyal to
Mm-hmm.
your ethnicity.
Mm-hmm.
If a Hispanic person, is that a different thing with that?
Well, their thing is they're very conservative.
Okay.
Like a lot of them voted for Bush.
Okay.
For the second
Why?
one. Very conservative.
Why?
In their principles. So Bush appealed to them
Okay.
because of their conservatism.
Okay.
And it's something I believe some people said with the Cubans, the whole Castro thing, that whole, they think Democrats are
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't want you to get that confused. In South Florida, there's a big difference between Puerto Ricans and Cubans, and Miami is pretty much ruled by Cubans as far as they have such a large block, and they associate Democrats with Castro, and they associate Republicans with being the good guys.
Well, wait a minute. Castro wasn't. Maybe I don't remember Castro. I remember what they taught us about Castro. I remember living during the time of Castro and Kennedy and all that, and Bay of Pigs, all that stuff.
Mm.
Castro didn't appear to. I thought he was a dictator.
He was.
Oh,
How was that democratic?
It's not.
It's not.
It's the way it's been sold.
Yeah.
I'll tell
But
you
some of
why.
their relatives lived there. They know
Yeah,
it wasn't
well-
democratic.
I know.
In 2016, when Trump was running against Carter against Clinton,
Mm-hmm.
it was obvious here in Florida how he grabbed the Spanish vote in Miami, and she didn't even go after it like he did, and I think they've locked in because it was always a swing vote, but right now it's kind of a Republican-held area.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's that big government versus small government thing. So they keep touting Democrats are big government. They're going to take over this. They're going to da-da-da-da-da. But the crazy thing is Republicans claim to be small government,
Right.
but yet they want to be all up in what you do in your bedroom, all up with who you marry.
That's not small government.
That's not small government.
But why, if people are in favor of small government, why are they in favor of all this intrusiveness? It doesn't make any sense.
That's what I'd say. Republicans are big government when they want to be,
Okay.
and small government when they want to be.
Okay. Okay.
Hey Bishop,
Yeah,
can I
Tom.
bring up one of the things a little different?
Go ahead.
Last week I spoke about Dion, what he was doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I told you, a couple weeks ago there was some HBCUs on TV.
Mm-hmm.
Last week it was Bethune-Cookman against Mississippi Valley State. This week it's going to be Arkansas Pine Bluff against Florida A&M. Dion's got them coming on national TV.
And the biggest college football show is at Jackson State today, College Game Day.
That's what I heard.
They are there today, the first time they're at a HBCU. You got a whole national exposure now. Out of all the big
Yeah,
games,
shook
Penn
up the
State,
world.
Ohio State playing today,
Yeah.
they're going to be at Jackson State today.
I think Dion is leveraging his celebrity in
Yeah.
favor of the school.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
some of the guys aren't happy about it.
Well, they're not.
One of the coaches they played last,
He's upset because his school's not getting the
he was
attention.
saying Dion's not swag, and Dion's like, "What are you talking about?" Because he didn't go to a black school. Like, so what?
Well-
I've been here, coaching.
As a past chairman of the board of the oldest HBCU in America, the great Lincoln University of Oxford, Pennsylvania, as former chair of the board, I am happy to see this progress.
Yeah, the money and everything going there.
I'm overjoyed. I think it's due time.
Yep.
I think that there has been a resource for a variety of disciplines other than legal and social, and I think there's an athletic well there that they've been missing.
Yep.
And I think that you know, I think the HBCU that was worthy of a lot of attention for years was Grambling.
Yep.
Because they sent so many successful players to the professional leagues.
Yep.
But now
Yep.
somebody has to realize there are some other schools with some other kids,
Yep.
and they can play.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I like the fact that some of these top athletes are going to HBCUs and opting out,
Yep.
not going to a majority school.
Yep. Yep. Especially with this nil thing.
Yeah.
They're going to get their money, go to black HBCU, and again,
So what's the nil thing?
the nil thing is the paying the kids,
Okay.
where they can get endorsements.
Okay.
But again, now some of these college coaches are showing how they really feel.
They don't want them to go
And
there,
these
man.
black colleges, these
Yeah,
black
they
kids are
don't
like,
want- they're talking money now.
you don't support us. Why
Money-
am I go to these schools?
Money provides.
Yep.
Money splits.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you
Yeah,
something.
at Jackson State, the last big recruit to come out and make the pros was Walter Payton. So we've had him go to our
Sure.
schools.
Sure.
Some of the
But,
greatest
you
players,
know,
Jerry Rice.
Yep.
What's the Steelers' big guy? The defensive tackle.
Deacon Jones.
Not Deacon Jones, but Deacon Jones did go to HBCU.
Yep.
Mean Joe Green.
Me and Joe Green.
All those HBCU players.
Yep.
I mean,
You can't get around it.
yeah.
Walter Payton, of
Walter
course,
Payton.
is outstanding.
Yes. Greatest receiver ever.
Jerry Rice.
Jerry Rice.
Yeah, and if you listen to Dion speak, the guy is on target. And it's funny how this last big guy got the number one high school draft pick. He made a comment. He goes, "I brought him there doing homecoming," and he goes, he just said he couldn't believe what he saw. So Dion set him up.
Yeah.
He talked about how he set him up, you know, and
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing. And I think he's really doing great.
He is.
And I think who's the guy at Alabama got all upset because he didn't get the number one recruit that he wanted.
Oh, Nick
Saban.
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 Yeah, Saban was
Yeah.
thrown off because he got trumped, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, Lincoln's football team was on TV last week.
I heard.
I just happened to be flipping through
Yeah.
which game was on, and it was on like more of a local or regional.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that was the first time I've ever seen them on TV.
Yeah, they've been coming on every now and then.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, it's
It's working.
Yeah.
And the
And when
guys ought to stop being envious and just jump on board with Dion because it's going to benefit all the schools.
thank you.
It's going to benefit all the schools.
So
And
the money that's going to come in.
and you can tell Saban actually spoke it and reacted to it, but he's not the only one that's having this reaction because these prime athletes not coming to these prime schools, and not a play on words, but these outstanding athletes coming to these majority schools, that costs them money.
Yep.
And it's just like a top athlete going to one school will give that school some kind of attention it never got. These guys are used to getting them all, and I'm not going to be surprised if they start to try to persuade some of the HBCU coaches to do something counterproductive.
Yep.
And also, the other thing they're going to try to do is get Dion out of there.
Oh yeah, they are.
And I don't mean negatively. Somebody's going to hire him.
Yeah, and he
I
know
think some colleges are trying
He
to
knows
already.
that's coming.
Yeah.
The interview on 60 Minutes, and he was honest. He goes, if they come at me, I'll entertain it.
Yeah.
Wasn't like he didn't say I'm not going to deal with it. So
Because I don't know if he's going to get Saban money, or the guy from Ohio State.
They might have to.
Urban Meyer, is that his
nobody's
name?
getting
Urban Meyer's
Saban
not there
money.
anymore. Yeah.
Whoever it is. Those guys get
Yeah.
paid.
Yeah. Michigan State. Yep. They're like $10 million a year. Or something.
Yeah.
Clemson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot to coach a team.
Oh, I'll tell you, Nick Saban is the highest guy at 10-7, and he's going up to 12-7 in 2 years.
Yeah.
Phew. Whoever thought?
They actually some of them get paid more than NFL coaches. That's the thing.
NFL coaches don't get that kind of money?
Some of them do,
No.
but very rarely though. I mean, you got to be top tier to get $10 million a year. But some of these college coaches are getting more money than the NFL coach.
I'd
And
stay right there in college.
Yeah. Who you telling?
Yeah. And Sanders also said he's not mad at Saban. He goes, Saban's speaking for Tennessee State, for Clemson, for South. He said he was put there to speak for these other guys. That this is a concerted effort because they don't like what they see.
Speaking of Tennessee, have you seen Haddon Hooker play?
Oh yeah, their quarterback. Yeah.
The quarterback for Tennessee?
Yep.
No.
They say he's the best in the nation. The boy's uncanny.
Yeah, he's good.
Man, Anyway, Tom, we got to let you go, man.
Take care.
Talk to you. Bye-bye. 866-743-8267. Thanks for your patience with this protracted conversation on college football. We're going to Danny. Hey, Danny, how you doing?
Good morning, Bishop, Pastor Nick, staff. How's everyone doing today?
Doing all right, man.
Okay. I have a question for you. I'm trying to go back to my old habits now. I'm watching your attire to see what you have on.
I knew it was coming sooner or later. I knew you were coming sooner or later. What is it, Dan?
You kind of giving me some kind of hint as to what the weather is like up there.
It's chilly, Dan.
It's chilly?
Yes, it's a little chilly. What is it in Florida today?
Well, you know what? It went down into the 70s.
Oh,
it
my.
back up to the 80s and just sort of like bridges the 90s a little bit.
You had to pull out your overcoat when it went down to the 70s? Is that what happened?
Well, the wife, she's getting excited, so she's looking at the closet, looking at the boots.
She can pull her boots out, huh?
She can pull them out, and she's getting ready. Not quite yet, but she's getting ready.
Oh, my goodness. What's on your mind today, man?
Okay, I'm just looking at, listening to things that are brought about, and you have to understand the what's going on here in Florida, how they're flipping things around, and changing stories, and what have you.
Okay.
Now, after January 6th, everybody should know that something is going on. Something is happening. And by that, what I mean, if you're not paying attention, to know that anything, if they would try to attack the Capitol and go all through it, that they're going to go after everybody.
Okay.
And they have people out there that will do anything. It doesn't matter to them. And by that, what I mean is that whoever is checking the backgrounds on these different individuals should be aware of what they're going on and what it's doing. I cannot get on an airplane without them doing some type of security check.
Right.
What have you. So they know where these people are going, where they're moving. So why are they not acting surprised?
You don't think they're acting surprised then?
No.
Give me an example.
They know exactly that something's going on. Something is definitely going on.
No, be more specific.
If that doesn't
be more specific, Dan.
Okay. If they do that to Nancy Pelosi,
okay.
If I'm someone that has a lower office and what have you, now what that's going to do is put everybody in line, knowing that the power structure goes much higher.
So you're saying, let me make sure I'm following. So your opinion is that this kind of thing that happened with perhaps Pelosi is a warning to other politicians?
Exactly. Get in line.
I think some of them are in that little whatever True Social or QAnon thing they got. They are supposed to be plotting different things.
Okay.
Around the country.
Okay.
As warning signs, flashing signs. Of,
okay. Okay.
What they say is going to happen if they don't win.
Okay. So they're trying to intimidate people.
They're trying to intimidate people. Yeah.
And then you look at how they do things. I have to look at it from my point of view.
So let me ask you a question. So the way you're presenting this morning, Dan, is that Nancy Pelosi was never the real target.
Right.
Well, I don't know about that part.
She wasn't home.
Yeah.
And you can tell when she's home.
Yeah, because I mean,
if the security wasn't there, they wasn't after her.
Yeah. I mean, the guy was saying, "Where's Nancy?" I don't know, but we'll see. I mean, they're sending messages.
It reminds me of the scene in The Godfather.
Yeah.
You really think you can fool a Sicilian with this? Come on, man. Come on, man.
Or he could have been just...
They said, the neighborhood said, that you knew when she was home because the security was very obvious and very prominent.
Yeah.
And you could tell when she was out of town because there was none.
Yeah.
It was lax.
Or this guy could have been just stupid and never paid attention.
That's true,
and not
too.
from the area. Because he's from Tennessee, I think.
But he went in the back of the house.
But he was kind of...
I don't make, I'm...
Got a lot of dumb criminals.
I don't know where my guys, Didn't he have any weapons in the house?
Yeah, I don't.
A dog? Probably had one of them little cute things.
Yeah.
Okay. Need a man stopper these days.
Yeah.
The other thing that I want to talk about
Go ahead.
is getting very close to election here
Yep.
and what's going on as far as voting and intimidation at the polls and what have you. They have been trying for the longest to get the governor to give us a longer period to vote. He never did that. He never wouldn't do it. He wouldn't budge off of it. All of a sudden, in the major counties that he needed to win the West Coast, he opens that up and said, well, what happened, the hurricane did this and that. You know, we've had hurricanes before, and they didn't open it up like they're opening it up now.
Now, when you say open it up, what do you mean, Danny?
Giving them an early chance to go ahead and vote, to get the votes in early.
They never did that before, did they?
No.
He only did it with a certain part of Florida. That
Only
are
a certain
Republican
part.
led.
Only a certain key counties.
Like Fort Myers and a few other those places.
All right,
Lee
I'm
County.
gonna ask both of you all a naive question, and I think I've asked it before. What takes, when something is this obvious, what takes the federal government so long to put a stay or a stop on these certain actions that are
That's my question.
clearly designed to impede people's ability to vote?
Yeah.
I thought that was a federal thing.
Let me look up.
That's my question.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, he's obviously only giving one group the ability to do that. The
Yes.
other group, none.
And
it's blatant.
And if you can see it from, we're in New Jersey, why can't the powers that be see it from where they sit?
Then the next problem that I have, the ones that you select or appoint to monitor voting discrepancies, you handpick them.
Well, here's my other thing, Danny. How do you allow armed people to sit outside ballot boxes intimidating people that want to come? How do you allow that?
The judge, it was a Trump appointee.
I don't care who he was appointed. The federal government cannot allow this stuff to go on.
I know.
So why are they sitting back? Why is the Justice Department sitting back like they don't know what to do?
Intimidation. How is all of this just happening at the same time? All of this is going on weeks before the election. All of this happens.
But this is where voting, like you should have the first time, would have stopped a lot of this stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Because then you would have people in place that would be willing to, do some stuff about this.
But most of the vote support workers are volunteers. And I don't think some senior citizen is volunteering to register people to vote or, just validate the voting process when you go to the poll. I don't think they want to be bothered walking past somebody with a gun.
Yeah. And people taking your driver's license number, down.
Yeah.
Your tag numbers.
Tag numbers, yeah.
But I think they're going to have to kick this up to the next one.
And
To the next what?
The next court, like appeals court.
Well, I don't understand why the federal government sees this kind of stuff and does not move with speed.
Yeah.
This is impeding, the democratic process.
I agree with you.
You remember at the beginning when they started, I think a year or maybe 2 years ago, I brought to the point how they were going around getting people to register to vote. But then the ones that were doing it, like the Republicans, they never brought them to court or gave them a fine or anything like that. And the people were registered Republicans, and they never agreed to do anything like that. Nothing ever happened with that.
Okay.
So now, what I'm saying now, if they did that with that, what can they do with votes? With early mailing?
I've had this question for so long. It's as though it's reported on the news, videos all over the place, and it appears as though the government doesn't react at all. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. Something as fundamentally American as voting.
I'm trying to find
How does our government not react to these things?
I'm trying to figure out how far the federal government can step in. But I'm having a hard time. Maybe I'll.
But if it's a crime.
But see, something like this, them staying at a ballot box with a gun is not a crime. Because, Arizona is the right to carry state. You can carry wherever you want to go. You can sit there with a gun, and it is not illegal.
And mass.
To do that.
But that is not facilitating the right to vote. That would be intimidating to most people.
Yes, I'm agree with you. It is intimidation.
Okay.
But by law, they actually can do that. as long as they're not harming anybody. Which is
That makes
insane.
no sense to me.
I-
Okay.
I-
So the law is protecting people who want to intimidate folk.
yes.
Okay.
Now, if they hurt somebody or,
Well, why does it have to go that far?
that's my problem with the whole gun situation. Why does it?
Why does somebody have to get hurt before you can get a restraining order?
That's the problem.
Okay.
Yep.
The question was asked at work. We were just asking the question. If you were going to vote and you saw 4 armed men standing at the poll.
You'd be reluctant to go vote.
You would be reluctant. Yeah.
Exactly.
But Trump, I give it to whoever's on Trump's campaign. They, since he lost, they were going through the country and trying to put people in place in the office of whoever runs elections in different counties.
Mm-hmm.
Backing them.
And that really shows me the desperation of the party.
Yep.
They know that they don't have enough people to win an election legally. They know it.
Yeah. So they're trying to win the right states. And then, yeah.
Going back to their old tactics.
But once again, I'm being redundant, and I know I am. The federal government's watching them do this. Why?
Yeah. Because
It almost feels like they're complicit in it.
Yeah. I know one place. I think it was the last election. They tried to intimidate people. The Black Panthers came up there and stood outside with them.
Okay.
Just to kind of maintain some balance there. But I guarantee you, if it was a bunch of Black Panthers down in the backwoods of Mississippi.
Be a problem.
Like, come on, y'all.
Be a problem. Danny, tell my sister I said hello.
Will do, Bishop. Thank you so much.
Talk to you
Thank
soon.
you
now.
all so much.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Mary Booth from Fort Worth, Texas. Hey, girl.
Who is this?
This is Bishop Evans and Pastor Nick. How you doing?
Oh my, okay. I was listening to you. I thought you were talking to Danny.
No,
My God.
No.
Look, hold on. Let me turn them off so I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay, Bishop.
Good morning, Mary. How are you?
Oh Lord, I'm so full. But primarily, I wanted to tap in onto the Texas political scene.
Okay, good.
And let you know that I had a conference. It wasn't it's the AARP type calls, the town calls that they call all over the nation to senior citizens. But I had that type of call from the governor. They included me.
Okay.
And in this conference call, and he presented all of his what he was for, policies, the border, just the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And it was very, very strange because I wondered, why is he calling me? I went on and opened the prompt so I could hear what they were saying. And he had people to ask questions, and etc. But long story short, it was a ploy.
Of course.
He had a donor that gave him $15 million or something like that, and said that the donor said that he would match the 64,000 of us that was on the line if we would donate. I thought that was, and that's the first time
It was a fundraiser, Mary.
Yeah, I know, but and he wanted everybody on the call to tell as many people as they could, family, friends, and neighbors, about the next day was going to be the first day for early voting. And he told us to vote for him. I just don't want to call the name, but everybody know who he is. But it was interesting. I think he was trying to build up his voting for the first day of early voting, so it would scare all of the rest of Democrats, independents, libertarians, and everybody else.
It was a support and fundraising call.
Just that simple?
Yep. And you don't even know if the $15 million even exists.
Oh,
I don't know about you, Pastor Nick, but I must get, without exaggeration, if I don't get 50 fundraising emails a day from all different kinds of people, different organizations, different denominations of dollars. I mean, every single day, man, I'm deleting all this stuff from my computer.
Yep. Mail them in all the time.
But my email is full of appeals for 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Then you got the larger ones, of course, from politicians whose names I've never heard.
Yep.
So it also makes you wonder about the legitimacy of them.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Okay, I also vote the first day of early voting when I have to physically go. However, I was getting my mail-in ballots for about 10 or 12 years, and I've been in Texas 15 years. But anyway, the last 2 years, well, I guess it's the last 2 years previous to this year, it was really a mess. I had requested my ballot, and they, within 3 weeks to a month, I did receive it. Very first time, as soon as I received it, I filled it out and waited for the mailman to come the first year, and I gave it to him. I had that year, I had to go to the election precinct office to cast my vote because they never got it. And we can check it online to see when they receive it.
So the mailman didn't deliver it?
Didn't get it. So I went 3 days before voting, and before the voting and the final voting date, and they would not let me vote at the precinct. Said I'd have to come back on the day of election. So I did go back. This last year, the same thing happened, but it was even worse. I think, well, they sent it a month early, and I went to the post office, saw her drop it in the box to be mailed. Yeah. And they still did not get it at the precinct office, and I had to go back again on the first day of voting, on the last day of voting.
You think that's an accident?
No.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, I don't believe it. This year, I did go on the first day to my local area because I didn't get a mail-in ballot at all. And I went, and it was 5 o'clock. I was rushing from another appointment, and I got there just in time. I thought, not just in time, I thought they were going to be open until 7. Come to find out, the first week of voting, they shut down. They open from 8 to 5. Okay. People work. They don't get off from work till 5.
Now you do realize, Mary, that these things are not accidental. These processes, or somebody sits back and thinks them through, because they're not available. They're just not convenient.
Can we do anything about it? Can I do anything about it?
I think you need to say something to, your senator and your congressman. Let them know what's going on.
Well, they should already know.
Well, they may not be hearing it enough.
Okay. And also, I went back the next day, and I have to get in because I'm, slightly, very slow. My lower extremities are. But I'm claiming my healing from the communion message from Bishop McClendon, Mystery Revealed. I hope you've heard it.
I know Clarence. I know it's probably very good.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm claiming my healing from that.
And just a shameless plug. Mary, yeah. A shameless plug. We covered the
supernatural
nature of communion, 2 years ago?
Well, I know that. I want to get that too. If I have a lot of the things.
Get it too. You should have been had it. You're listening to Clarence. You need to be listening to us. Clarence, my friend. You listen to Clarence. You need to be listening to us, girl.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know you had done that. I just knew that.
That's because you're listening to Clarence. That's because you're listening to Clarence. That's all. That's all it is. You ain't got to clean it up now. It's all right.
Okay. But anyway, anyway, I went to
We
vote.
got to go soon, Mary. You're taking up a lot of time, daughter.
I know.
All right.
Went to vote, and they really gave me a hard time because they, as a matter of fact, after I voted, they'd only put down the lower half of the people that I voted for.
Call your local politician, Mary.
Okay.
Call her.
Thank
All right, we got to
you.
go. Bye-bye.
Oh,
How much time we got?
About 5 minutes.
Okay.
5 minutes, yeah.
So now, of course, tomorrow, we're inviting everybody to join us at 8 a.m. virtually, and 11 a.m. we're indoors. We had a great time at our Harvest Festival last night. For those of you that missed it, you really missed a great time, a lot of food, great worship, just a lot of fellowship.
Yeah.
Kids were happy. The game area was really good. If you want to come to church next week, you got to register. Registration starts tomorrow at 6, closes at what?
Wednesday at 9.
Wednesday at 9 o'clock.
Yep.
So you got from tomorrow at 6 till Wednesday at 9 o'clock in the evening to register for service on next Sunday. We're having a great time. We're controlling the increase of the crowd. We're going to have a little bit more people this week. See how that works out. We'll have a little bit more next week, but it's a real limited, exclusive crowd, and you want to be a part of that, that limited amount of people that are coming. You don't want to miss it. We're keeping it exclusive right now, so you want to register and get on board. If you have a prayer request, you need to send it to us at social at gotobethany.com. If you have a prayer request, social at Bethany.com. We want you to always subscribe to our David G. Evans 1 and our YouTube platforms, BBC of NJ, Bethany Baptist Churches, and David G. Evans 1. And we have some podcast platforms, DGEMS, DGEMS, and OnPointe. Pastor Nick, we only got about 3 minutes. How old were you when the move thing happened?
I wasn't alive, I don't think. When did it happen? Was it 85, right? Or 84?
Probably 84 or so. Cause
I was born in 81.
Okay, so anyway, I might have been early 20s. Yeah, I don't think you were born then.
Yeah, it was 70.
70 something.
78.
78. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I got out of college in 73, 78. Okay, so I was in my early 20s,
Yeah.
mid 20s. They're just now thinking that's a homicide?
Yeah, they're now just saying it was wrong. Yeah, after all this time.
You bombed a neighborhood.
Yes.
I mean, I watched it.
I heard, yeah.
You know, and the location.
Okay.
Yeah, the location of the bombing in the neighborhood was not far away from my mother's home at the time in Southwest Philadelphia, on Angora Terrace.
Yeah.
And we watched it, and it looked like nothing but a homicide.
Yep. So there was one in 78 and one in 85. The
Yeah,
bomb was in 85.
Bomb was in 85, and then they
78
had
was the standoff.
the standoff.
Yeah, 78, yeah.
And I remember that one too. It was in Pointe Village.
Yep. Yeah, just this what? Yeah, so 85. It's been almost 30 years.
But
yeah.
the bombing
40
didn't
years.
look like anything but a homicide to me. I mean, they decided to drop a bomb on a row house
Yes.
connected to other houses.
Yes.
And it was a relatively, I think it was a newly renovated neighborhood. They had put some new homes there. If I'm not mistaken, the builder was from New Jersey.
Okay.
And it was on, I think, Pine Street. Was it Pine?
Osage Avenue.
Osage Avenue.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
That's up by Mount Airy, right?
No.
Is it?
That's out Cops Creek.
Cops Creek. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the Pointe Village is out near Drexel
Okay.
and all that.
Okay.
But the bombing, the Pointe Village piece was actually warfare in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they had automatic weapons in there. It was guns. I mean, the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
But the Pine Street thing, they were held up in there, and they decided we're going to get them out, and they dropped a bomb on the house.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah. I think Mayor Good was the mayor at the time.
Mm-hmm. Now, did they evacuate all the houses?
Yeah, they had everybody out around.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah,
All right,
but
okay.
still, you
You still don't. Yeah.
No, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
I think they wanted them out, and of course, retrospect,
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there another way? I think in the moment they didn't think there was another way.
Yeah. They said
because of the way Powelton Village had turned out.
okay. They said it was 61 residential homes were destroyed. Like
Absolutely.
that's insane.
Absolutely.
2 bombs in the row.
It was, then the fire,
Mhm.
just,
Wow,
it was a very, very dark time for Philadelphia.
that's crazy.
Well, we've got 31 seconds. For Pastor Nicholas Smith, I'm Bishop David G. Evans, and I want to thank you for joining us on OnPointe, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. For our staff, our technical staff, which makes this all possible, and you who makes it even more so because we cannot have the broadcast without you, I want you to remember that faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you, and we'll see you next time on OnPointe.